Ira, can you hear me? Looks like you were able to get on.
There, can you hear me now?
I can.
Yeah, I'm on. I made it in, so maybe I'll leave and come back at 5.
Yeah, yep. I just wanted to make sure that you were able to get in.
Yep, all good. Thank you very, very much. Looks good.
Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hello. That's me too. Yeah, okay.
Check
Yeah.
or say hello.
Hello.
And also,
Yeah.
he checked it. too.
Yeah. Yes. Here at my part.
Cool.
No, no, no.
Will you check YouTube?
Yeah. Dedication from him. It's pretty impressive. Like
Is there
he's like a good
should I do it differently so it doesn't so it just shows the planning commission and not
Yeah.
all the stuff?
Yeah, I think you were supposed to hit like where is it? Up, yeah, a little bit up right next to one more up. And yeah, yeah, you see there is like a play sign a little bit left. The other side, sorry. The other
Do I have
side.
to stop sharing first?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, stop sharing. Yeah. And PowerPoint and go the other side a little bit. Other side. Yeah, right there. I'll show you. I thought we are gonna make.
Oh, slideshow.
Yeah. Slideshow. Right here too. The same guy. That's the same guy. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
And now Zoom. Yeah, open Zoom now. Expand it. Now share.
Now share.
Share. Okay.
No. What'd you do? D?
I did, yeah.
Do this.
Hold on, let me check. That's what we normally do, yeah.
Yeah, and usually it just shows up on just the
Okay, let me do the
Hi, can you hear me?
I haven't.
Yep, we can.
Hi.
Yeah, they're definitely working through some stuff. And like, if people are randomly closed, they must be having a hard time fulfilling all the hours that they need. It's kind of dangerous because it steps away from my home.
When you get on,
It's easy.
I'm almost there.
Don't see the perk anymore.
I know. I'm like $20 for a sandwich. Yeah. Yeah, we used to get such great bookmobiles for the
Mm-hmm.
shoulder season.
I don't hear any audio on your end.
Just Snapchat.
Yeah, I
I think you're enthusiastic.
Got it now.
September 14th. We switched you around, how I know. Interesting.
I'm moving on up.
No gap, no gavel. All right. The microphone. I hereby call to order the September 4th, 2025 meeting of the Town of Frisco Planning Commission. Who's doing the roll? Kim, will you please call the attendance?
Conley,
Here.
Lindsay,
Here.
Forsythe,
Here.
Kane,
Here,
Seville,
Here.
Yay,
Here.
Withrow,
Here. Everyone's here. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. All right. The previous planning commission meeting minutes have been distributed. If commissioners have any comments or corrections, please voice them now. Are there any comments, corrections, anything? Okay, Ira, any comments?
no comments, all good.
All in favor? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
move to approve.
We need a second.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, I'm not seeing anybody in the chambers or online, but we will take public comments. This is a meeting of the Frisco Planning Commission. Any public comments that anyone in the audience may wish to make on a subject not on this evening's agenda may be made now. There's no one in the council chambers and I don't see anybody online other than Ira and Katie. So we'll close out the public comments section of the agenda. We will now open the public meeting portion of the Planning Commission agenda. This commission is appointed and serves as an advisory report to the council. It has certain final authorities identified in the individual staff reports. The first item on the agenda is the 3 Mile Plan. A public hearing recommending adoption of the 3 Mile Plan of the Town of Frisco pursuant to the Colorado Revised Statutes, Section 31-12-105E. The applicant is the Town of Frisco. Proposed 2025 3 Mile Plan can be viewed through the Frisco website. And I'll turn it over to the staff. Is it you, Chris?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Just props to also just to recognize Kim did a lot of the editing that you saw in the plan you had before you. I am just gonna skim a couple of slides here. First, I did want to say, I apologize. We had every meeting for this when it's going probably to be a very short meeting. We just didn't have any other items because we're trying to get a grant closed out in time before we expire. Then we kind of needed to keep it moving. So normally we wouldn't put such a smaller item on, but with that said, we are looking for you to make a recommendation to town council. And we did note, and it was in the staff memo, that we didn't bother to do final formatting or map adjustments because it's just a pain until we have everything completely done. So we wanted to wait, make sure you didn't want any more modifications. And then assuming that you don't, then we're going to go ahead and we'll just make it look better than it looks right now and make those few map changes. So just a quick refresher, we're before you on May 15th. You suggested separating Lake Hill from the Dillon Dam Road area. So we went ahead, we did that. That made a lot of sense. You also recommended updating the Dillon Dam Road hours because it talked about back when it used to close at night on us. And so that was updated. And then you recommended modest changes this year, and then you would, staff and planning commission will relook at it next year after more has transpired with the comp plan. We then went to look at it as staff after that, and we made more edits than we planned, as you saw in your packet. So just to confirm what we did, we obviously just updated dates. We did separate Lake Hill. We combined, and I have a map to show you this in a minute. There was 3 areas that are really the backyard area. So we took out the names Mount Royal, Ski Jump, and Ophir. And we made one backyard area and pulled the info from each of those sub areas together. That brings us into alignment with our environmental analysis and everything with the Forest Service that we're applying for. So we just made that one area. We made general updates based on current data and a lot of cleanup that, as I said, Kim luckily found for us. There was grammar and mistypes from the past. Kim also checked the Summit County zone districts and all updated parcel information on vacant land. So that is all updated. And then we have a newer trails master plan. So we made all those changes that are applicable. And then we are gonna make changes to the sewer service map. We got those from sanitation district. So that's just a recap of why it looks like more edits than we originally talked about. And we then went to council just last week. Council felt like there was a little bit, it was old language that was a little bit funny reading. So we updated and cleaned up. That's shown in the track changes version you have for Frisco Terrace and Wyberg Park. It's one section titled those two areas. And then just a refresher, the blue line is the 3 mile plan. And up on the top circle shows the Lake Hill is being separated from Dillon Dam. And then down below, you could see there was an Ophir Mountain, a Mount Royal, and a Kids Pond. And then we took all three of those and made it into one, just so you can get a better feel for what was combined to be one backyard plan. We kept the county commons separate because we feel like that's unique. We were a little torn over Ophir, so I'm happy to hear if especially those of you more connected over at the county commons think that should be separate. It does seem like it is in the backyard plan, so it goes along with what we wrote, but happy to hear comments on that. Just a reminder, there are no current plans to annex land within the 3 mile area of Frisco. We're doing this to meet requirements by the state. And with that said, I put a motion up here. I'm happy to take edits, modifications, and have you discuss it. And then just as a reminder, we just need to have you open and close a public hearing. And I just say open and close because it doesn't look like there's anyone to provide comment.
What do you mean, open out for public comments? Okay,
For a public hearing, yeah.
got it.
Thanks.
All right. So we're gonna do questions of the staff. Andy, do you want to go first?
Sure. This is a very general question I have. There was some news a few months ago about the Camp Hale Monument being opened up for development and certain portions of our wilderness being opened up for development. And the one thing I saw was that local towns' ability to control zoning in those areas was going to be the one thing that could really stand in the way of those areas getting developed. Is this where we would take a strong stand, this document, and make sure that if federal government were to try and start allowing development in our backyard, is this the document that would stop that?
It's not the document. The document that's gonna be the best for that is I think it's a resolution, not an ordinance, but we're actually, staff has written something to go to council, as other towns are doing.
Okay.
And that's a little bit more, it'll be more official and well documented, but that's a great point. And we have so many Forest Service lands in here. There is no reason why we can't, for each of those areas, add one sentence that states the town does not support selling this
We
for
will not
development.
provide utilities because they wouldn't be able to do it without our utilities.
Yep.
And so if we just say absolutely not, we're not providing any utilities to those areas. If there's any place in here where something like that would fit in, I'd love to see that added.
Sub areas that are all Forest Service that we could do. Is everyone okay if we add that? Good thinking and good, yeah, thank you.
That was my only question / comment.
Thanks.
Excellent. Jessica,
I do have a comment, but do we want to,
do you have any questions?
No.
No questions. Okay, April,
No questions from me.
Kelsey,
My only question is, like, the town doesn't see any conflict making it all one backyard, like, there's not like any
No.
reason
Reason
why
is-
they were separated.
No, I think it made sense at a time, but it's like kind of going along with the past question. We're not looking to sell any part of that or develop it differently than what's in the backyard plan.
Only question, thank you.
okay, Candace?
I have a very high level question. I know last time we talked about this, but the intent for this round was to update it kind of simply to meet the dates and the update cycle. But then there was like getting through the comp plan was the big update. And then like this would be revisited down the line. Is there anything that came out of the comp plan after updating this that you guys would think in the next update of this plan would be relevant? Or is there?
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Not specifically, because this is more what utilities and infrastructure are being provided and resources. The one thing that could change would, well, no, actually, because even zoning changes would be in town, and so it wouldn't affect the land outside the jurisdiction. So what we really want to update next is gonna be, we didn't talk to like fire and police to say, do you still serve this area in the same way we wrote in this plan? But our changes will be in the town, so it won't affect anything in here. Good question, though.
Ira, do you have any questions of the staff?
No questions of staff.
And my only question is, how often does this document need to be updated?
Legally, every year.
Every year?
Yeah, by state statute.
Have we been, is that, and is this our document, like a planning commission
It's
document?
actually town council, the state legislature doesn't even have it go to planning commission. We just
Oh.
do because I think you guys have good insight
Okay.
on it.
So have we been updating this every
It
year?
hasn't been done since 2019.
Okay. Okay.
That's why you haven't.
I can't believe that. Every year.
Yeah.
So.
Well, in Silverthorne, the 3 mile plan was part of the comp plan. It was like an exhibit to the comp.
It
plan.
is sometimes the
Yeah,
committees usually
so-
tie them together. We could have done that if we kept ours a lot, like if we didn't, it was just written differently in 2019 where they did this huge, more in-depth document. So we went with the same type of format.
I don't have any other questions. So now we will, there's no applicant, we'll turn it over to, that's what you mean about opening up to the public. So we will open this meeting up to, or this item up to the public for comment. There is nobody in the chambers. I don't see anybody online, so we will close the public comment section and proceed to commissioner comments. Okay, we'll start with Ira. Ira, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. It's interesting that we have to do it every year, but it hasn't been done for 6. So if we do tie it, to other documents, it would be more timely. But more importantly, I'm really appreciative of Andy's comments to make sure that our backyard's not for sale.
Great. Thank you.
Okay.
Candace, thanks, Ira. Any
Uh,
comments?
No problems.
Okay. Kelsey?
I'd just like to echo that. I'd like to see that statement that Andy brought up. I think that's very important. And thank you for your work cleaning this up. Let's stay on top of it.
Yeah, same. It's, I read through all the stuff earlier and it seems like we covered everything. And it seems like maybe next time around we can just update dates, so hopefully. But yeah.
It's gonna be a lot
Good
easier
work,
if we do it
yeah.
every year.
Thank you, Andy. And any additional comments?
No
Okay,
additional.
what about you, Jess?
Yeah, and maybe this was a question. I don't know. Okay, in Bill's Ranch, in the transportation section, there's an added sentence that says the county anticipates adding a rec path to the north side of Miners Creek Road. To me, the rec path is like a 10-foot paved multi-use pathway. I wouldn't call this a rec path unless that's what we're putting in. And
Pedestrian.
No, it's teeny tiny if you've
Yeah.
seen it lately.
what is it dirt? What is it? Is it even paved?
It's not paved.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Just single
It's
track.
teeny tiny.
Pedestrian
Um,
walkway or.
Yeah, or
Pedestrian
pathway.
Pedestrian connection, whatever. Yeah.
Okay, that's easy.
Good one. I don't have any additional comments other than good job and good catch, Andy. I definitely support what you're suggesting. All right, so then can we have a motion? What, are we missing something?
No, I'm just waiting to see.
Oh.
Here we go. I move to approve Planning Commission Resolution 2025-03, a resolution to recommend Town Council adopt the 2025 Frisco 3-mile plan with the discussed additions.
Perfect.
Second.
Great. Do you want to do a roll call?
Sure. Conley,
Yes.
Forsythe,
Yes.
Withrow,
Yes.
Lesmus,
Yes.
Jane,
Yes.
Dave? Yes. Severe.
Yes.
I believe that's the easiest money you'll ever make. Get paid for.
$100 per 15 minutes. Well, $88.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll turn it over.
A lot of update.
Staff and commissioner updates.
I'll let you know, Emma brought Dark Skies to town council last week. They very much agreed with the changes that you had suggested as a planning commission, keeping it very minimal. And so we, due to workload right now, because she's also leading the Pioneer Park Design Project, we'll bring it back to you for final recommendation on a new ordinance for lighting, but it won't be right away. Just, we don't have a timeline necessarily. But
Okay.
you'll see that in the next couple of meetings. And I think that was really it for staff.
Do you know if we have a planning commission meeting in 2 weeks?
I don't know. I'm working on code updates right now, and I don't know if they'll be in shape by the 18th. I'm hoping they will be, but
Okay.
if not, they're gonna go on the first meeting in October,
Okay.
which I can't believe it's October then saying that.
I know, right?
Mhm.
Okay. I just want to reiterate my concern for the Staley Rouse house and lack of door and that winter's coming.
Yes, I actually brought it up. Thank you, because I brought it up to the town manager yesterday because we're meeting with Foots contractor and their construction team next Wednesday morning. And I asked him if it was okay if I brought it up, and he said yes.
Okay.
So it's actually on the agenda. They don't know, but it's on the agenda for next Wednesday.
Okay.
Thank you. But I'm glad you reminded me because I didn't write that down when I told him that. So thanks.
I just, yeah, you see it and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, great, it's that weathered for 3 years and
Yeah.
doesn't have its structural integrity anymore.
Yeah, and that is in the covenant. I'm gonna pull the covenant the town has with him because I think it talks about that. So
Yeah.
When does construction start on the big triangle building?
They haven't submitted the demo plan yet. I don't
No.
think. I don't think we've had a demo.
So likely next year at this point.
Construction will be next year. We just actually went through all, James spent days and days trying to get us to the point where we could go through the legality with half of selling and closing. We had to argue our appraisal cost and all of that, but we just finished that last week at council. So yeah, it's behind, not delayed, but it will run further along later than 602.
Has Primos pulled their building? No. What about McDonald's? Are they moving forward?
Wait, Primos, did they do final?
Yeah.
Oh, they did. Okay, I
Yeah,
missed
then
it.
you were here,
I
yeah.
missed it. We're not struggling with McDonald's. We're struggling with, and some of you who have seen the applicant side of things recognize this. They have been trying, I think, for, I want to say 6 months, and they cannot get a letter from a trash company to say that they'll service them. And they have shown up at their window and knocked and looked through the window at somebody who ignores them. And
This is for McDonald's.
It's really hard to get that letter.
Really?
It's really, because it's free work. They don't want to do it. They're not getting paid for it. The trash companies don't want to answer that call. I fight for that letter on every project.
Interesting.
And so we're running into, we hate to not have it because if it's not serviceable where proposed, then it changes the whole plan you look at. But I don't know how, we're literally holding them up for this letter for a couple of months right now. So we're probably at the point where we need to just bring them to you and have a special condition.
Does the town have any authority to push?
The
them
Emma
to
has
take
called
these?
the companies trying to help. And
That stinks.
yeah,
Is it possible to waive the requirement?
it is.
Mhm.
If we did, I'd like to do it for everybody, because like Andy said, we've had other people, we've never had anyone held up this long, but we've had applicants who also got held up for it. You know, thoughts from the planning commission, how important they think it is.
Is the issue that they want to write the letter or they don't?
They don't want to take the time to review it because they're not getting paid. They're busy enough as it is. They get that call, they get that email, and they pass it around the office like a hot potato. Nobody wants to do it. You call every trash company in town, in the county, and the same thing happens. They ignore you. They don't respond. It's a hard letter to get somebody to take the time out of their day and for
Happy
free.
meals.
Because they're not getting paid. They gotta do that. And it almost feels like there needs to be a service somewhere that does that. We'd be happy to pay people to do it, but there's no mechanism for paying them or for them to charge us. But I've run into that on every one of that.
right?
But yeah, they don't have any. they
But I
don't
find
have
it
any-
interesting that McDonald's that would generate a lot of trash can't get a letter. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just wonder if there's more of the story. That's all.
We've seen correspondence on them trying and
Huh.
yeah. And we knew that Frisco Prime we delayed Frisco Prime for a while for that letter too.
Wait, and the letters needed for,
You take it to make sure that it's sized appropriately and that they can access it.
Expensive.
So,
we didn't have that requirement in Silverthorne,
okay.
for whatever it's worth.
And it's the planning, I mean, we're moving forward with code amendments too. And actually, I'm not sure if that's just on our checklist or in the code, on those requirements. I mean, do you supportive overall if we move?
Seems like maybe we could talk about putting minimum standards in our code. And as long as the project meets those, then it could go forward without getting a letter from waste management.
Yeah.
You know, so somebody doesn't come in with one that clearly doesn't work.
Right, yeah.
And like, how often do you get letters from the waste collector, whatever, that say, oh, this, well, we can't service this dumpster?
Only
We feel-
one out of 12 maybe, which is every couple of years. Yeah. It's not often.
But that's more than I would have thought too.
Yeah.
If it was
And
like
what's
every
usually
one out of
the
100.
issue?
Usually it's actually the size isn't sized appropriately. If we hear any of that, but very rarely do we get a negative about it.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's become such an issue, and like what you said, if we put some minimum standards that like, we take a look and.
Maybe we could talk to some of the trash companies kind of independently and say, you know, what's the minimum? What do you need for
Yeah.
access? What do you need for the door size? That's a big one, right? The garage door size and then the room size for what we're looking for. We just had that in there. Might make it
Great.
easier.
Good ideas. Thanks.
What's going on with, and I know we've talked about this not for a little while, there was some conflict between when the Complete Streets was gonna attack Granite Street and the new interchange and trying not to have those happen at the same time. Has that been affected by federal dollars at all? What's the schedule currently for those two projects?
The CDOT one is still on schedule from
Yeah.
everything we've heard and they're already doing the utility work over by the dam road. That's in prep for it. And then it'll be, I think, 26 and 27.
So starting in the spring, we're gonna start tearing stuff
believe
up
so.
and diverting traffic.
Yeah. I can get better info from you once we ever back on.
There's
like
nothing
we're
happening this
in
summer.
engineering yet. Correct. Only what you see right now is for us getting it ready with the utility work. And then Granite Street, let me just check. Well, let me just pull up my calendar because I have an update on it going back to council. I just want to give you basically, I think it's in 2 meetings from now, but don't quote me on that. The 10-year capital plan is going back to town council. And that is the main discussion point is, does the town have and want to continue to budget for Granite Street as a complete street as designed? Or does the town need to scale back for financial reasons and upcoming kind of decreases and
So
things?
no schedule on construction.
Correct, because I think they're going to relook at if they really want the plan as designed, or if we're gonna ask the consultants to scale it back. And that'll be completely up to council, and it really comes down to the money.
Mm.
So,
But wasn't the plan to start in 26 regardless of the exit 203?
but I think if they decide to scale it down in size and design, then it would probably potentially delay it a little bit. It would still hopefully be in 26, but it would really depend on what the council decides they want to do. So we're all waiting to hear.
And the kind of new parking area for the project, the workforce housing project at the end of Granite, that's all tied together with the schedule, or is there a chance that part, the diagonal parking that's been sort of outlined there in front of that building will get
That's
built?
gonna take place on Galena. Is it?
No,
Oh, no,
no,
yeah,
Granite.
that's one of our questions is staff.
Okay.
We have this, yeah, we're all wondering also.
Is the town selling the Mary Ruth House units?
We are currently subdividing them with an intent of selling the 4 10-mile. So there's 9 units. One is kind of a cabin used for seasonal housing for town employees. 4 of them are rented by town employees. And then the other 4 are rented by 10-mile people employed within the 10-mile community, 10-mile basin. Those 4 will go up for sale. However, they won't go up for sale like in the middle of a lease or anything. So we're getting them platted right now. So we have legal units. And then as they become empty, James will be selling them. And that is we need money back in the housing fund to replenish from what we gave to 602 Galena and 101 West Main. So they'll be sold at a few different AMI ranges he has figured out in different prices. And I'm not sure of the details, but they'll stay local housing, but they'll be for own instead of rent.
On 4th and Galena there, the cute little, like, there's the one little historic house and then the ones that kind of built on. Okay. Parking in the right of way.
As most people know.
Yeah, they have one more building to still plat even.
Any update on city engineer?
Yes, we have a contract with, we don't have a signed contract. We have an engineering firm that was selected through the RFP process. We are working with the attorney on the contract. It was supposed to be done yesterday and he's working on it today. And then the town announced a day or two that they have hired a public works director and he will be starting in about 2 weeks. And he is not an internal, it was not an internal candidate. So
Where does he come from?
he actually currently has a house in Frisco. So they're fully relocating here.
Okay.
Yep.
So sorry, I missed it. So the public works director is what you're talking about. Are you hiring a town engineer or is that what?
Contracted engineer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I had a question, I forgot it. Shoot. Oh, anything come out of the housing covenant discussion? I haven't been able to listen to the.
It's okay. We have part 9 on October 14th. The council asked to provide resale calculations, examples for 3.25%, 3.5, 3.75, and 4%. So I'm putting those in. That's what actually I was just doing today. I'm putting them in a spreadsheet, those calculations, and they want to consider a resale calc of higher than 3%. And then they'll talk about capital improvement, but that seems to be the last piece left. Is that resale
They'll
calc.
become more expensive and less attainable. Does the town support this? I mean, all we hear about is housing needs, and we're making it more.
So
expensive.
town staff provided our input and they asked us not to provide input anymore. Then we asked the housing authority to go provide their input and they heard that in May. And they're continuing their own discussion.
I'd argue Ophir Mountain's the only successful housing project because it's still attainable and reasonable.
You can still provide public comment. So yeah, staff did try to provide recommendations based on what we were provided with kind of best practices in the county from housing authority, but we were asked to.
So Frisco, just to like summarize, so potentially they would go above 3%. Frisco would essentially be the outlier in Summit County going above 3%. Still from time of, purchase, it would be whatever if they decide 3.5%. Okay.
I think they all agree not compounded.
Okay.
They just want to see how the numbers would play. And it doesn't mean they're going to go over 3, but they wanted, so at the last meeting, they were pretty much 2 versus 2. And they decided, well, maybe we'll look at 2 of them wanted unlimited capital improvements, the greater out formula at 3% a year plus unlimited capital improvements or the number on the AMI sheet, whichever is greater.
Whichever is greater.
Wow, that is.
The number on the AMI sheet is like a brand new build.
Yeah.
And not taking into account what somebody bought it for.
Correct.
Correct. And then 2 of them did not support that. So they were at a split vote. And so they were about to drop it. And then they decided.
Right? Is it a split vote? Okay.
4. So they recognize that it may be a better discussion when they get new council members, which is going to be in April because there's a couple of terms up. But then somebody proposed that they look at a few compromise maybe on some different numbers. So they want to see what it looks like with those couple of other calculations.
And would the definition of a capital improvement change, or it would just be unlimited amount, but we're still defining a capital improvement, actual capital
Been
improvement?
able to provide input on that yet. Well, a couple of them want unlimited, a couple are waiting to see, because it really comes down to what their percent is before they all really determine what they would want for capital improvements.
Okay. And then would the definition of who can qualify for the housing change at all? Because, right, like the current covenant, you have to work in the town of Frisco, but then you're leaving out people that maybe work at the
Yeah, so
hospital or
they're,
the high
yeah,
school.
so they agreed so far, and this could always change, obviously, to have a lottery system.
Okay.
And you get extra tickets, and I'm not gonna quote what they are, but you get extra tickets because I can't remember off my head. I don't want to misspeak,
Yeah.
but there is extra tickets for things such as certain locations you work, certain locations you live, and then most recently they added an extra ticket if you already own a deed restricted unit, in a way to encourage somebody to move up or down. So you could get an extra ticket if you also already own.
So you already have a deed restricted house and you get an extra benefit to upgrade your deed restricted house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or to
Versus-
change.
I just don't see
the.
I guess, and I don't understand the benefit of that. Like I get it in a way, but wouldn't you just
I
want to
think
put,
it's a mo-
You
okay,
haven't taken up inventory, you've left one.
You've
deed
switched
for
it,
another, but
okay.
It's another one, maybe.
okay.
So wouldn't the like or greater, if they could do that, make it like $200,000 more to purchase
They
from the
could.
next person?
And it's just a win, I mean,
And
I'm so passionately disturbed by that. It is so. Anyways, I'll make my comments at the next town council meeting.
October 14th.
Great, I'll be there.
Work session.
It's my birthday. I
Oh,
want
it's
to It's my birthday.
Oh, what a fun way to celebrate.
Neighbors.
Yeah, and they haven't came to any consensus, and they have to have at least three on the same, in agreement on each topic. And then we still need to bring it full public comment. If they agree on something, we'll draft it, then it'll go through legal. And then it will go up for public comment before anything. So there's, even if they agree on October 14th, we haven't even taken full public comment. I mean, everyone can come talk during like the first 3 minutes of the 7 o'clock part of the session or provide written comments, but they're not taking comments specifically at work session typically. So. Yes, but it wouldn't be, you're never required to go into a different covenant. And so it's an option for new, if the town adopted a new covenant, we'd have it for new units for sure. And then people could opt in if they wanted. And then there is some conflicting information regarding if a unit is going up for sale, if it could go up for sale with a new covenant on it. Some communities do that. Our attorney so far says you can't. And so that's to come still. But so no one would be like, you can't own a house that's deed restricted and be forced to go into this new covenant. You'd only go into it if you were selling your house and you made more money. That's usually when people would go into it. And right now we have a 2019 version that's optional. And we ask people not to go in unless they're selling, because you don't know how the numbers will change when you sell. But most people go into it when they sell because they make more money off of it.
Did they change? You can own multiple properties.
Right? Sorry.
Oh,
Elsie.
you're fine.
No, I interrupted you.
I was just wondering, did you change the covenant too, that they can own multiple properties, or is it all in one that they're gonna decide on, like all of the changes, or are they picking changes they want to make?
Yeah, they're not picking changes. Staff proposed different topics that are within the covenant that we thought if they're gonna change the covenant, they should cover, because other parts of the community a county are doing that in other ways, and we wanted them to really analyze all of the topics if they're going to change it and have a good comprehensive updated covenant. Some of them they've decided to keep as we have it. Some of them that they've changed. So for example, on property ownership, at the last meeting, they supported an initial buyer can have interest in, and we have to clarify the definition of interest, but basically you can have interest in a property somewhere outside of Colorado and still buy a deed restricted unit. Right now, you'd have to sell it if you bought. And then they also have provided direction that they support as an existing deed restricted owner, you can own unlimited other interest in properties outside of the state of Colorado. That's the direction so far.
Is there any tax code on subsidized property that you can just go change all the deeds? And I mean, like, this just seems ludicrous and counterproductive to what we're trying to achieve in our community, attainable, affordable housing. And that we hear about, and then we're changing deeds that people agreed to.
I hear what you're saying, but I was asked to not comment. Sorry.
But if you feel strongly about it,
Yes.
come to a meeting.
It is fake.
You don't have to, you can submit comment, you can
Yeah.
submit a public comment
Yeah.
in an email or whatever.
Council did request written comments come to the, if you go on the website, there's apparently a link to email all council members at once. And they have requested that you email that link so that it goes to all of them. I would request that you also CC me because I'm writing all the memos and I'm not getting any of the public comments. So I'm really off guard on a lot of what's coming in because I'm not being given it, but it is what it is. So if you happen to know, right, feel free to CC me so I can actually put it in the file. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Bye, Amber. Bye, Amber.
All right. I'm done. Did you